Welcome to the For the Love of Me book launch by Margie McLean. And tonight we are excited to just have a little fireside chat with you. Thank you for tuning in. Please like this page and be ready at midnight tonight to go on to Amazon.com/author/Margie McLean and purchase your paperback or hardback copy of For the Love of Me, a 31-week journal to heal your body, mind, and soul through self-love by Margie McLean. Hi, Margie. How are you this evening?
I am doing wonderful. And yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I guess you must be a bowl full of butterflies, huh?
I am very nervous, excited at the same time.
Excellent. Excellent. To God be the glory for the things he has done, right?
Yes, yes,
He
it
puts,
was
he,
him, all
yep,
him.
he puts a passion in us for something and then he blesses us to see it to fruition. So, at this time, I want to just introduce you. I'm sure everyone knows you, but just in case there's a few people watching that may not know you, you are a native of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right. And Margie is a distinguished counselor, educator, mentor, and community life coach. She has an unwavering passion. And if you know her at all in any of the capacities I'm getting ready to mention, you already know about that passion. But her passion is specifically for empowering individuals and transforming lives. She has over 20 years experience conducting empowerment and leadership workshops and uses her life to inspire women and nurture self-esteem in today's youth. And that is so important. That's what makes this journal so timely and so necessary. Without self-esteem, youth, and not only youth, but people of any age are susceptible to many vices.
Mhm.
When you care about yourself, when you have love for yourself, that's actually a shield that will prevent you from going down many dark roads. Trust me,
Absolutely.
I know. I'm a witness of that. Now, Margie is the founder and CEO of the Margie McLean Foundation. Many of you may know her through that. And through that company, she reaches underprivileged and disadvantaged children, young adults, and their families. She's also founded the Chemistry Fashion Boutique and Chemistry Growth Mindset LLC. Now, I want to end by just telling you that Margie is qualified. Now, I've told you about what her passion is. I've told you about her entrepreneurial with founding these businesses, but let me go a little bit further. Margie has earned her bachelor's of science in molecular biology from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke, and she further advanced her education with a master's in educational leadership. So this woman is not only passionate, she's qualified. She is a member of, now, again, if you know anything about her, you is not a surprise that she is a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Inc., but also the National Council of Negro Women Incorporated and the Genesis 673 chapter of the Order of Eastern Stars. That's just a little to tell you about her. And finally, last but not least, as we say, she is a member of Refuge Temple Church in Burlington, North Carolina, and is raising her 2-year-old goddaughter, Ava. So that's a little bit about our author. Now, I want to pause here and just ask Margie, what led you to want to put together this 31-day journal to heal the body, mind, and soul, but specifically through self-love? What led you to that?
You know, when I was growing up, in the 80s, I would say, One of the main things that we had to deal with was, being a young lady who was dark skinned. And that was really hard growing up, to have someone to constantly be called names because of the color of your skin and things like that. And so growing up, sometimes we feel like we're not good enough, or, we're not pretty enough, or what so have you. And then growing up, and then going through various relationships, still trying to figure out if you're, good enough, or why this relationship not happening, why this didn't fall in place. Am I not loved enough? I'm not doing enough. And so you kind of start building self-doubt about yourself. And so I really had to learn how to grow to love me and say, I am enough. I am a priority for myself. And in doing the different various mentoring groups, I found other young ladies who was the same way, as well as being a teacher. I found some young ladies who were the same way as well. They didn't love themselves because of the color of their skin, or they didn't think their hair was long enough, or, what so have you. And so I had to take all of that and say, hey, why not just fine. And I would say not even just teens, I would say also women too have low
Mhm.
self-esteem about themselves. And so I wanted to create this book to show that you are worthy, you are loved. And I called it For the Love of Me. So I'm doing this for me. And so that's the reason why I decided to do this book. And I just thought that it would be a good way for us to, women and men, to learn ourselves all over again. It would probably take more than 31 days, but we want to start off with 31 days and see how that journey would pan out.
Yes, that's certainly true. You touched on a number of different phases of life
Hmm.
that will cause people to struggle with esteem. Um, and you're also I'm in total agreement with you about any age, and men and women.
Hmm.
I'll never forget one of the most profound things that happened to me in my 30s, 40s, in my 40s.
Hmm.
I found I was going through an old photograph album. Now I'm in my mid 40s by this time, raising my children, and I was looking back at pictures of me in my 20s, my late teens, early 20s, and the thought came to my mind, oh my God, I was so cute.
Hmm.
It wasn't like a a conceited thing. It was like a shocking thing because I always thought I was so ugly.
Hmm.
And because of that, I allowed myself to be treated certain ways by certain people
Hmm.
because I didn't think I deserved any better.
Hmm.
And I just always go, man, if I could go back and not take that treatment that I took from those individuals
Hmm.
because of my self esteem, how much healthier mentally I would have been in my
Exactly.
20s.
Exactly.
But I didn't realize it until my 40s. And then, too, this book is not just for teens, young adults, it's for
Hmm.
anybody
Hmm.
who wants to feel better about themselves, who struggles with finding ways to feel better about themselves. How has your faith played a role in developing this curriculum? Because that's what I'm going to call it, a curriculum. There's probably another one in you. You just haven't said anything yet. But how has your faith helped you in this endeavor?
I would say my faith helped a lot. 2020 was a hit for me. It was a big hit for me. I had, multiple deaths before, but 2020 was was a hit for me. To have my grandmother, my auntie, my father, out of my biggest cheerleader, my father, all in the first 3 months gone. I honestly lost faith. I had just enough to know, but at the same time, I lost faith. Like, I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to do anything. Didn't even want to do anything with my nonprofit. And so it just took a while for me to build my faith back. And I'm just gonna be honest, I'm a pastor's daughter. Been in church all my life. You may hear people say, "Oh no, you should never lose faith in God," but things happen. And I remember talking to my dad about that one day. We was talking about, I think it was Columbine that happened, and I was like, man, I wonder how parents feel when they send a child to school and they don't come back. Do they
Mhm.
lose faith in God? And we had that big discussion. And so for this to hit me all in just the first 3 months, it was like now I know how that feel, what that question is like, and things can happen. And so, but I had to really, it was like the Lord kind of came to me and talked to me about the things that He had done in the past. And I'll be honest with you, I was planning to take my life when my father passed. I did not want to be here anymore without my dad. I was a
Mhm.
daddy's girl. I did not want to
Mhm.
be here anymore. I didn't love myself anymore. It was just everything. I just did not want to be here. And so it took faith. I remember going to church about to pull out in front of a transfer truck. And I went and I don't know, I think I went and I sung on the praise team that day. But then I talked to my pastor that afternoon, that evening after church, and told him, it took him praying, it took, my church family praying, um, to build that back up and to start allowing the Lord to minister to me again, that love that He has for me, to let me know that He's there for me, and to build that love within myself again. So in this book, you will see various scriptures that talk about self-love, even mental health. We don't realize that, the Bible also talks about that as well, loving ourselves, and not in a vain way.
Mhm.
It's not in a vain way, loving yourself. And, not in a selfish way, but, I have a quote that says, self-love is my love language. It's nothing about being selfish in a way to love yourself. Um, but it definitely played a role. Faith definitely played a role in this for me. And I do, like I said, I have scriptures in there as well.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
have some things that a love letter you write to yourself. And some things in there with faith as well in this book. So
Yes. Now let's take a journey through the book. It is a journey. It is definitely a journey.
yeah.
And the journey is divided into 6 topics.
Hmm.
I want you to share a little about each topic. I
Hmm.
love how you don't just jump right in with day one, week one, but
Hmm.
you have a few pre-exercises just to get the person ready
Hmm.
who's about to take the journey. So before you take the journey, let me give you a few exercises on self-love itself, what it
So
is. And so first you do that, then you take us on a
hmm
journey through the exercise week 1 through week 4. And then you don't just leave at the end of the 31st day. You have a few exercises after the
yeah.
31 days to help the person continue on their journey. So I want you to kind of take us through what those topics are and tell us a little bit about each one.
So if I may, I'll read the overview so my audience will get to hear and see what the book
Absolutely.
is about. The
Yes.
overview, when you open up, you have a quote in the book. And then we have an overview called Loving Me, Loving Myself. Um, 30, Loving Myself. And so, do you want to stop self-sabotaging and overcome your fears? Do you want to learn how to gain self-confidence? Do you need clarity on how to reach your fullest potential and become your own best friend? Do you want to stop sabotaging your goals due to fear? You are invited to embark on a transformational voyage, a voyage that is uniquely yours. This is not a journal, it is a sanctuary for self discovery, a canvas for self expression, and a compass guiding you towards the path of unconditional love. Within these pages, you will uncover the beauty in your quirks, because we do have quirks, the strength in your vulnerabilities, and the endless reservoir of love that lies within you for you. Each entry is an opportunity to celebrate your triumph, acknowledge your growth, and nurture the relationship you have with yourself. This journey is not about recording your journey. You are expected to actively participate along the way. You learn how to acknowledge that you are worthy of love from yourself and the world around you. So open your heart and your mind and intentionally embrace all that makes you beautiful and unapologetically you. Become a mirror that reflects the true essence, a canvas for your dreams, and a testament to the incredible journey of self love that you are about to embark upon. Welcome to Loving You. And I wanted to open that up so you can kind of get a feel of what you are getting out of this book. So we do have some things in that. One, you want to talk about what do you think self-love is, what makes self-love impactful for you. You're going to write a little bit about that and think about that before you get into each chapter of this book. Not only that, each chapter have their own, like you said, it's a journey. So you start off with making yourself a priority because you are a priority. Why I say that is because I know for me, I am involved in a lot of things. And I remember my father used to get on me about that. You running for everyone else, but then when it's time for you, you can barely get anyone, or you never have time for yourself. So I had to learn how to make myself a priority by saying, one, no. That's it. The power of no.
The
And so I had
power
to
of
learn
no.
because I'm telling you, we
Absolutely.
will wear ourselves out doing for everyone else. And then when it's our turn, we done emptied out our cup and we don't have anyone to help us refill it back. So we have to learn that we are a priority to ourselves, not everybody else. And no one's gonna make you a priority in their life like that when it comes to them. So you have to start doing that for yourself. Um, Also, in here, you are enough is the next one. So you have to learn that you are enough. Sometimes we feel like we are not enough for everyone else, or we're not doing enough for everyone else. So we have to learn like we are enough. What I am is who I am, and like you said, with the quirks that I am, I can't be like anyone else. When I
Mm-hmm.
try to do that, we wear ourselves out trying to be, and we end up with all these different personalities. That's not really us.
That's
And
true.
so we had to learn how that we are enough. Um, Next is you are worthy of love. Sometimes we think because of relationships that we've been in, and when I say relationships, I'm not just talking romantic relationships. I'm talking work relationships. I'm talking family relationship, friends, relationship with your friends. You are worthy of the love, and sometimes we become used, I would say. You only are friends with someone because of what they can get out of you, and then when they can't get anything out of you anymore, then they're not there. So now you're wondering, well, why am I not one? Why am I not enough? And am I not worthy of being loved by my friends, or am I not being, worthy of being loved by someone, my family, or anyone that we feel is important in our lives? So we go through that journey. The next one would be after that, show yourself some gratitude.
Mm.
Do we show enough gratitude to ourselves? Do we celebrate ourselves enough? I think we grow up sometimes thinking that celebrating yourself can be self-serving, but if no one else is gonna show gratitude and celebrate you, you should be celebrating yourself. So how do you give thanks to yourself for the things that you've done? Of course, giving thanks to God first, but at the same time showing celebrating you. And then the next one is I love and accept myself. How
Mm-hmm.
many people out there do not truly love themselves? And if they can't love themselves, then they can't love anybody else properly. And they don't
Amen.
accept themselves of who they are. So at the end of each chapter, um, every day you should have something that you should be doing for yourself. So some type of self love or self care you should be doing for yourself, and you'll see that in each chapter, as well as there's a reflection after each chapter as well.
Okay. I have a question that
Mhm.
it just came to me, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I
Okay.
think it's very, very relevant, especially in some of the circles that we travel, and you and I travel in some of the same types of circles. So, what I want to ask you is give me an example of an unhealthy focus on self-love versus a healthy focus on self-love. And the reason I ask that is because when we, as I was growing up, I know self-love, the first thing that would come to mind is somebody full of themselves and conceited.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a misconception, even now, even with all of the self-care that has been around for the last couple of decades, still some people, and I'm gonna say in the church mainly,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when you say, "Oh, I'm writing a self-love journal because I want to foster self-esteem in women of all ages and people in general," depending on who you're talking to, they may not really even get what are you saying when you say self-love. Are you talking about being all high and mighty? The Bible says, don't think of yourself more highly than you. And we go right into our rhetoric,
Mm-hmm.
our spiritual rhetoric. But there is a healthy self-love that counteracts the unhealthy self-love
Mm-hmm.
that we can spot that right away.
Mm-hmm.
But can we spot and do we understand what healthy self-love really is? So give me a few examples on each. Just for anybody that might be listening, still quite not. And sometimes it has to do with just a phrase, self-love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way that sounds, self-love. I'm not supposed to be loving myself. I'm supposed to love God. So what is healthy self-love?
You know what? I think healthy self-love is me taking care of myself.
Yes.
When I say self-love, am I eating right? Am I putting the right
Mm.
things in my body?
Hmm.
Mentally, am I giving myself positive outlooks in life? Affirmations for myself.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything that this should be a temple, right? This is our temple. This is the Lord's temple. And it shouldn't be anything that we're putting in our body, taken away from our body that, is going to harm our body. And so with that
Hmm.
being said, and even think about me just having a piece of chicken today, but, but even
It's all
still,
right.
so, but it should be a way that I look at myself and say, I love myself too much to do that to myself.
Oh,
Just
yes.
to
Yes.
say relationship. You see the red flags in the
Mm.
relationship, right? But you go into the relationship anyways with the
Hmm.
red flags flagging along, and it's right here. Do I love
Come on,
myself?
sis. Make it plain.
I love myself,
Yes.
and listen, I was one of those.
Me
I
too.
put
Me
a
too.
veil
Me
over my
too.
eyes because I wanted to be in this relationship so bad, or just to have a relationship. But
Hmm.
everyone else can say I was in a relationship like everybody else, and I ignored the flags and I hurt myself. So now,
Hmm.
when we see these red flags, do we love ourselves enough to say that is not it? I don't care how
Hmm.
much I want it. It's
Hmm.
not what's good for me. And that you don't have to be young. You can be, in your 40s like I am. Well, I'm gonna say
Yes.
30s. I look like my 30s, but so we see those things.
Hmm.
You see the thing down the road, but you still go down that road anyways. So is that healthy self-love? That's not healthy self-love. So how do we take care of ourselves? How do we see ourselves? Do we wake up and give an affirmation? Do we wake up and say, I'm gonna have a beautiful day? Do we have an affirmation for ourselves that we say every morning, that we feed into ourselves every morning? And so I think one of the things we have to start doing is learning the true meaning of self-love, especially in the church.
Hmm.
Learning
Hmm.
what love really is, what it really looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. And no, you don't want to be boastful. That to me is unhealthy self-love. High and mighty, or think yourself above anybody else. That's not what I'm talking about. We're just talking about
Hmm.
how are you taking care of your mental health? Are we
Yes.
doing that?
Yes.
Are we taking care of our mental health? Are we running ourselves raggedly? And I'm gonna just say me, I gotta talk to myself sometimes, and sometimes I just have to say, no, I can't do it.
Hmm.
So self-love. I mean, it's the mind, the body, and the soul. Are we taking care of all three of those? So that's what I
Wow.
see healthy self-love.
That's so good. And I done read the book. I've done gone through it with you. I've been on this journey with you, but it
You
just
have
seems
been.
it sounds so good because it's so needed, it's so
Hmm.
necessary. And we're coming to the end now, but I want to ask you, in addition to this first project of yours in print,
Mm-hmm.
tell us, first of all, what will some of the benefits of journaling be at the outcome? How how will the person be better after the end of the journey? What are the benefits of taking this journaling journey?
You know, they have the song called "You Never Know Where You're Going Until You Get There," and
Mm,
this is kind of like the piece. You know, we have a portion in this book where you write a love letter to yourself. And so, with this being said, it's just being able to take this journey. And sometimes you will discover some things that you don't know, because sometimes we don't never sit down and kind of talk to ourselves about ourselves. And it's an entry every day.
mm-hmm,
And for me to sit down and say, how was my day today? What could I have done better? How could my day be better? Do we ever sit down and ever think about that? Or do we just leave work, come home, we do what we got to do, but we never really sit down and woosah and think to ourselves how our day is. So with this is a journal and a journey, I would say
mm-hmm,
also, for you to see where you started and where you end. It may start hard, but it should get easier within the middle of the book, within the first 15 days, you should be getting used to it. And it also gets you to reflect on you. That's the benefit, is you actually taking the time to reflect on you for a change. You got
mm-hmm,
a mother who may be a single mother. Man, she's with the kids all day. You working, you come home, you got to feed the husband, you got to feed the kids, but do she ever get a chance to sit down besides going to the bathroom, trying to lock herself in the bathroom so she can get that time, which and you might have to do that with the book. Do you ever take that time to really reflect and say, you know what, let me see how my day was today? How do I
mm-hmm.
love myself today? And so I think that would be a benefit of this. Also, the other benefit of this, and I have someone coming in, the little one coming in. Um, Thought I locked the door, but she found a way in anyways. But the other benefit of this is also just a reflection of, what is it that I'm doing that's hurting myself? How am I allowing other people to hurt me as well? So
Mm-hmm.
self
You know
love.
what? You know what else is I think that this book is a great tool for journaling, because not everybody knows how to journal. Like I grew up in an era where, the young
Mhm.
girls, we used to call them diaries. Back then
Yes,
it was a
yes,
diary.
yes, it
And
is.
you were writing, if you like to write, you would be writing every day. I would write in my diary
Mm-hmm,
every day. I still have my diaries from my
mm-hmm,
teen years. But not everybody is comfortable enough to do that. So the way
right.
you have the book structured is you're asking a question. You're providing a question.
Mm-hmm,
What did you think about that? And each day, each week has a different topic, and each day
mm-hmm,
you're being, it's almost like a little mini interview. And
mm-hmm,
it doesn't take long. So for people who may be challenged with writing,
mm-hmm,
don't worry. This kind
mm-hmm.
of journal is for you.
Yes.
You will find it so easy to just answer the questions, just
Mm-hmm,
fill in the
mm-hmm,
blanks. And the
mm-hmm,
other thing is, for the busy youth in school, or young adult working couple of jobs, putting themselves through
mm-hmm,
school, or that
mm-hmm,
mother or wife, these lessons, these daily lessons, these daily journal pages,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
maybe 10 minutes tops, maybe
mm-hmm.
15 minutes. And aren't you worth 15 minutes a day?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Aren't you worth 15 minutes to sit and
Yes.
write and just contemplate, life and your day and
Mm-hmm,
God with the scripture there and the
mm-hmm.
theme? It's not going to take a big chunk out of your busy
Right,
day.
right,
If
right.
anything, it's going to give you a chance to, just like prayer, just like
Mm-hmm,
meditation, just like
mm-hmm,
praise and worship,
mm-hmm.
it's a little bit of time that you're going to carve out of your day to fill in that day and that
Yes,
page and that
yes.
topic.
Yes.
10, 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
tops, and you deserve
Mm-hmm.
that. You
Yes.
deserve that time. Yep.
And
So
I like the fact also that what I did was I gave prompts to get you started
that's right. That's
also.
the word. I couldn't think of the word. The
Yeah,
writing
so
prompts.
you have
Yeah.
prompts also to get you
Hmm.
started. And I got
Hmm.
this little one in here. She's while I'm live here. But
That's all right.
so
We're almost finished anyway, so she's right on time. That's fine.
So
Yeah.
in here, you'll see a little insert about me and the reason why I wrote this book. And so I'm just looking forward to seeing how it changed your lives. You can use this actually for a group setting as well. If you're a therapist, you can use this with your group as well. I will be using it with my group. I do a sister circle as well, so I'll be using it. This book, we'll be giving this book away at my women's conference that's coming up as well. So we'll be using that in here also. So I'm really looking forward to this book getting out there.
Yeah, well, it's out there. It's getting out there. And if you're just tuning in, I now sound like I'm at work. If you're just
Mm-hmm.
tuning in or just scrolling down and you happen to stop, we are announcing the release, the book release of For the Love of Me,
Mm-hmm.
a 31-day journal to heal your body, mind, and soul through self-love by
Mm-hmm.
none other than Margie McLean. And the books are available on Amazon.com. You can go right to her page by putting in
Mm-hmm.
Amazon.com/Margie Y. McLean, or you could just go to Amazon.com and put her name and the title of the book, For the Love of Me, in the search bar of Amazon, and it'll come up that way as well. Hardback are available, paperback are available.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy one for yourself and one for your girlfriend, or as she said, buy a few for your women's group.
Yes.
But we want you to know that it is available. It's time for us to build our esteem in
Mm-hmm.
healthy ways. In healthy ways. I know that in some circles it's take out a loan and go buy a $2,000 pocketbook. No, we're not talking about that kind of self-love. We're not talking about that kind of esteem. We're talking about deeply looking into yourself, seeing
Mm-hmm.
your value, realizing you are valuable.
Yes.
You are a
Yes.
precious jewel in God's eyes.
Yeah.
He said you were fearfully and wonderfully made. And so we have to combat all of the negativity that we think about ourselves.
Yes.
Never mind what the enemy puts in our mind and
Yes.
other
Definitely.
people put in our mind. We put our own selves down. And so
Mm-hmm.
we have to feed our minds with as much positivity to, to counteract all that negativity. And this book is one of those tools that will help
Mm-hmm.
you do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this little live that we're doing just to let you know a little bit more about the woman behind the book and what's between the pages, what's between
Mm-hmm.
the pages of this wonderful journal that is available on Amazon.com. I'm gonna keep saying it, and I'm sure it'll be in the comment section or on the flyer.
Yes.
But it's just put her name and the title of the book, For the Love of Me, in that. Share the video, like the video, tell a friend, and that's all I have.
And please, when you purchase the book, please take a picture when you get your book.
Oh,
And you have
yes.
hashtag at the bottom. Please, once you get the book, and if you like
Oh,
it,
that's a
please
great
go
idea.
and to
Yeah.
Amazon and make sure that you do a review for me.
Leave a review. Yeah.
Please let me know how you love it. And also, if you are looking forward to using this at your church group or with women, men as well. I will say I just had a young man at my job. He was like, "Hey, you got one for men?" I said, "What's for men?" He was like, "The color." I said, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to change the color, and make one for men now." So that'd be my
We
second
could
book.
we could do a version for the men, no
One for the
problem.
men, and stuff. And so I'm looking forward to it. And yes, I do have another book that the Lord gave me out of this book as well. I do want to start making this a series for our young ladies and our young men as well. So I'm looking forward to it. So when you order it, please take a picture, post it, tag me, and also do the hashtag for the love of me, and also my love language is self-care. So
Right. All right. Well, that's it. Take care, everybody, and be blessed.
thank you for everything. I want to say before we leave, thank you
Congratulations to you.
for taking me through this journey.
Oh, you're
And thank you
welcome.
also. I got the little one here. She's ready to take a shower. And thank you also
Okay.
for editing and everything for me. I really appreciate it.
You're
I can't say
very
anything enough.
welcome. It
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure. It was a pleasure. All right now. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.